Greetings, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you from a spectacular day on the Gold Coast hinterland. I have a very, very special message for all past students or people who have worked with me in the past. I would like to give you just a little 5-minute blast of this new God source power activation that has come through only in the last few weeks, and give you a special offer to join us to learn how to do this for yourself and your loved ones and your own clients if you do healing as a business. Before I do that, I want to just explain what's happened. If you've been around me a while, you'll hear me have said many times, you'd have to be asleep under Ayers Rock to not know that something extraordinary was happening on planet Earth. And that has definitely been 10 times this year. I understand that there was a new level that woke up like 10 years after the 21st December 2012. Well, on the 21st December 2022, there was this new higher level that opened up for those people who were aware enough to feel it. I certainly have felt it. And I have been working with the quantum since the 15th of October, the 20th of October 2022, when I ran flat out for 7 hours, when I was previously incapable of running for 7 minutes or not without bitching about it. And I've kind of been working in the quantum since then. And earlier this year, like January-ish, just after the 21st of December 2022, this quantum eternal source power level opened up. And that was just like mind-blowing to me, like absolutely blew my mind. But by May, this new quantum heart activation stuff had come through, and that was just like, oh my God. And it was so powerful. I'll actually leave the testimonial below from one of my old clients from 10 years ago, I think it is. She was having heart problems, and I knew as soon as I heard that, I knew that if I didn't help her, she was going to die. That there was just this great knowing in me that there was something the matter, and that she had been under medical care since October last year, and she'd had a heart attack, and then she'd had a pacemaker put in, but she was still declining. And so I reached out and said, hey, I've got this new heart activation. Can I give you one of them? And, or not give you, do you want to pay for one of them? And I will give you everything I know about the quantum heart, because I just know that it's where we're meant to be. I did that with a number of ex-students, and then it kind of got delayed in, and we decided that we would do this 10-week exploratory workshop to help people who are already powerful healers but maybe stagnated, and bring them up into this higher level of consciousness that was coming through so that they could go on and do what they needed to do. But then that only happened like late May. I think I did Doreen's appointment like early June, because by the 22nd of June, just 22 days after her, every day during this quantum heart activation I did for her, she increased her heart function 33%. So it went from 20 to 30%. And it had been slowly declining prior to that. So amazing that it was powerful. But I had got this next level of heart, God in you opening up in your heart. So the God source power that exists in everything, not the external God, but the God in you, that is also connected to all of the trees and the birds and every living thing on earth, that opened up in my heart. Once I got the quantum heart stuff underway, then within weeks, this new God source power opened up within me. And it was just like, oh my God, I just knew stuff. I knew stuff without even reading stuff. I knew stuff. I knew stuff without hearing. It was like time and space collapsed. All time and space has collapsed anyway. all of that old stuff that's going on in 3D. Like, as I like to call it, if you really still think that two men in their egos fighting over who's got the biggest dicks, is where it's at, then go ahead and stay in that vibration. But honestly, that world is only being kept alive by news and media. There is this whole other, way beyond the fifth dimension. The quantum dimension has opened up. And we now, especially if there's enough of us, we now have the power to collapse those old timelines on illness, on disease, on poverty, on lack, on limitation, even on war and environmental damage. And so I've been asked to find just a handful, there won't be many, because it'll be an exploratory workshop, of people that I can take through and teach you this heart activation. What happened for me also, like the first time I got into this God Source activation, honestly, it was like night and day. I got up from the chair I was sitting in after they took it to me. It took a couple of hours for them to get me there. I stood up and all of the stiffness that had been in my arms and legs, I am in my mid-60s, and just fell away. But more so within a week or so, I just lost all this excess weight that I've carried for all of my life. It just started to fall off me. And I had began eating due to something that happened. I just kind of, and actually it was because it was winter, it was so bloody cold, I went and got some lovely sourdough bread, planning to eat it with my soup, but ate it every morning with ginger jam and a cup of tea. So I'd eat more bread, more good bread, not crappy bread, more sourdough, multigrain bread, pasta and potatoes in the last 2 months than what I've done in the last 2 years. Because for 2 years I've had 1 meal a day of fish and salad or fish and veggies. That's what I've, and some fruits and veggies in there. But never really lost any pounds, and the weight just began to fall off me once I connected into this God source power that exists within every one of us. It exists in your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres. On top of all that, we have this connection to these 500 trillion cells that are outside of you as well. And so once you begin to link all this up, and what I can see now is it's been this process from the quantum, then activating the quantum internal source power at the beginning of the year. That took a couple of months to kind of like, because it was a big step up from the quantum. But once you get in there, like the quantum heart activation came through in May, and then by the end of June, just in the last few weeks, the quantum, not that it's not quantum, but the quantum heart, or through the quantum heart, so you have to be connected to the quantum heart, and through that you get connected to the God source being of light you truly are. So for those of you who I was talking to about the quantum heart activation, the reason it's been delayed is because this other next higher level, and you can't get any higher than you finding the God in you. That's all been leading to awakening the God in you and your God source purpose, or your purpose for being here, the God purpose for you being here on earth. And so we were going to do it as a 10-week course. We are now going to do it as a 12-week course, because we want to, so it's going to take about 3 or 4 weeks. A lot of you, I know, are not living in the fifth dimension. You're not doing those activations every day, or you're not, in the fifth, because I can see just by the stuff, the struggle that you've got going on. Some of you are, but the struggle that's going on, usually to do with finances, is indicative of the fact that you've kind of slipped out of that fifth dimension frequency. So we'll have to reactivate that in you. Then we have to activate the quantum in you. Then we have to activate the quantum eternal source power, quantum heart activation, and then a quantum, then this new God source power within your own divine heart and within every one of your 100 trillion cells. It is so exciting. It is so powerful. They're just a few of the things. The weight's fallen off me. There's no stiffness. I was kind of waking up and we'd have to bloody stretch just to get out of bed, but all of that's gone. Some of that could be because I started taking magnesium, but it's different. I can tell. I feel like I'm back in my 20s. And this thing about collapsing time and collapsing, and the other thing is that you can collapse neuro pathways in your brain that are, so the neuro pathway in your brain for when you were 25 years old or even 22 years old or whatever was your favorite year of your life, that still exists. It's just that it's, dried up because you're now going, I'm 26 years old, I'm 20, what a shit programming that is really. And so what we're doing now is we will be able to access your ageless and timeless body where you stay youthful and vibrant for the rest of your life if that's what you choose to do. Time and space has collapsed. When I spoke to another old client yesterday about this, he's down in Melbourne, I'm here, but it was like he was sitting in front of me when and I wanted to give him an example of this quantum heart activation. And so, yeah, it's a really exciting time to be alive on planet Earth. I'm excited because I know that all of my work, my 40 odd years of working with Source, this is what it's come down to be able to dissolve separation consciousness and to collapse all these old timelines of all the shitty things that have happened to Mother Earth and our world and the people and the beings in this world because of the 1% not so light, not so bright beings that have been controlling it, and their time is done. But we absolutely will not get there by focusing on all the terrible things they're doing and spending our energy. There are so many light workers that are spending their energy dissing this, and they don't even realize that the dark side's got you, because while you're doing that, you're missing all of the amazing stuff that's possible for you when you sit in your light. And a great example of that is that my gorgeous friend, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this because he announced it publicly in a group of most of you anyway, he was going on about, and how the dark side's run the show for 7,000 years, and they probably have for about that long, and everybody's been battling the darkness to change it, but it hasn't freaking changed in 7,000 years, and I just pointed that out to him. The darkness has you trapped because you're not in your light doing the cool stuff that you could be doing. He must have shifted his awareness into the quantum and beyond, because within a week he said to me, hey, I caught the metro into Paris, which I'm guessing is a train into Paris, and he was looking for a spot that he could set up on the weekend to do a little market stall and sell extra stuff or whatever it was that he wanted to do. He hadn't advertised it anywhere, he hadn't told anyone, but while he was looking, a man, a darkish Indian man on a bicycle came by and used his name and said, hey, there's a great spot 2 streets over here, which I don't know what the relevance of all of that is, but the bottom line, it's not what he said, it's the fact that a man he did not know, an Indian man, a dark-skinned Indian man he didn't know from a bar of soap, used his name and told him where to find the perfect spot. That just gives me goosebumps from head to toe. That's all the magic that's awaiting all of us if you stop listening to the news, stop focusing on that, and actually wake up your own heart. You can heal your own body instantly. You can heal the bodies of everyone around you instantly. If you will only step into that power and stop playing small. And part of that with me, stop playing small. Get in and do what you came here to do. Yep, you're going to cop some flack, and I've certainly copped some flack so far from other people who call themselves healers. Stop giving your power away to your angels. Are they assisting you? By God, yes. Stop giving your power away to the galactics. Are they assisting you? Yes, they are. But the power that exists in you, in the God source being of light that is within you, and the very, very specific and unique gifts that you came here to share exist within your God source being. And everything that is not in line with that is in separation consciousness, and we just need to heal that separation consciousness. So it's now going to be a 12-week program. It is going to be an exploratory program. So What does that mean? That means that I honor you as the great infinite God source being of light you already are. I'm going to teach you what I know to get into full connection to your God source power within your own divine heart and within your 100 trillion cells. That's going to take about 4 sessions because of these extra 2 levels that have come up. We thought we'd do it in 2, but in consultation with Source the last couple of days, we've recognized that it is actually going to take about 4 sessions to get you fully into your God source power and to end the separation consciousness within your own being. Once we've got a bunch of it, probably no more than 10, 5 to 10 people, once we've got a bunch of you in that state, we are then going to use that energy and the gifts that we find when we wake up the God source power and align, activate, awaken and align with the God source power in your own divine heart and being. We're going to, as a group, begin to explore collapsing old timelines of poverty, collapsing old timelines on environmental damage. If you've not heard about the Mandela effect, please just Google it. There's all sorts of stuff happening. You know, sex in the city was always sex in the city, and now on everything it says sex and the city. All the videos and everything have changed. Even like life is like a box of chocolate. It was always life is like a box of chocolates. Now everywhere it says life was like a box of chocolates, you know. It doesn't even freaking make sense that it would be that. But there's lots of things and lots more things. People are just seeing things happen. A woman who wanted to sell her cabin in the woods couldn't sell it because the lake next to it had all these signs on it saying, you know, toxic lake, you know, don't fish, don't swim, don't whatever. And she got up into the quantum connected to God source. And her goal was just to sell her cabin so she could move on and do some other things in her life. When she got back there 2 weeks after to connecting to her God source, there was a pristine lake. No signs about no fishing, no swimming, no nothing. Pristine lake right next to her, and she sold it within days because obviously it was a spectacular location to have a nice little cabin in the woods and go fishing. No point in having a cabin in the woods if you can't swim or fish in the woods. So these are the things that are possible. There's heaps of people. There's people that have smashed their windscreen and are just able to go back to a different timeline and not have the windscreen smashed. There's just so much we can do. And so with it being an exploratory workshop, it is to help each and every one of us that are in that workshop expand out into all we are. Now, it will be heavily, heavily discounted because once whatever knowledge we get from this, I will turn it into a 22-week mastermind, a God source power mastermind. And sorry, my apologies. My pussycat's deciding that he will just challenge his sister right at this moment. So it's just the energy that's going through. One moment, please. It's a rebel of a cat, that one. Alrighty, so we can all, but what we should find within about the first 5-6 weeks of it is that you uncover your unique gifts, and they can be anything. You might find underneath your separation consciousness, you're the most brilliant writer. You might find that you're the most brilliant artist. You might find that you can levitate. You might find that you can, you know, can teleport. God, I'd love it if someone could teach me how to do that, but we're going to share our skills. And even if you don't have one of those, we're going to, you know, just work on what it is that we can do, but as an environment as well. And so it will very much be a learn by doing. After I've taught you the first 4 weeks of doing that, we will very much be all in together. It won't be me kind of like, you know, holding your hand and healing you. It will be me awakening you to your God source, and then we all working together to create something new. I would absolutely love to collapse the old 3D timeline and ascend deeper and further and deeper into the light. But it's going to take a bunch of really strong people who are committed to that. So please don't apply to do this training if you can't do a 22-minute activation every day for yourself, and you can't show up for the 2-hour, it'll probably be a 2-hour session once a week. Probably it's looking like it's going to be around 7:30 on a Wednesday night, which would make it like about 5:30 in the morning for people on the East Coast, I think it's called, but New York, Florida, Carolina kind of line. So, because that's about the best kind of timing that I can do for it. And if you'd like to be part of this, it is a one-off opportunity to do that, because, as I said, this will be developed into a 22-week mastermind. It could be 28 weeks, but it's a much longer program that we will do after this to activate more people. But at this point, I'm really looking for just people who have worked with me, who already understand the way that I work, that have already connected to the fifth dimension. You may have lost it and not be in there at the moment. But unless you've kept up with all these upgrades that are coming in, that's the only reason it's not there, is because you're not connected to the quantum eternal source power, to your quantum heart, and then to the God source power within your heart and within your 100 trillion cells and 100 trillion telomeres. So I would love, 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 love you to work with me. It is only going to be a small class. The price for this program is $3,330. If you, and this is, if you pay the whole thing up front, it's $2,888. But I've also been asked to, so we can get this moving and get a few people in, anybody who, we're going to have a fast action bonus. So anyone who books in and pays by this Saturday, actually let's just make it, this Sunday. Anyone who books in by this Sunday, let me get the date of that. I'm sorry, I should know that. It's the 20th today, 21st, Friday, 22nd, Saturday, 23rd. By the 23rd of July 2022, you can, and pays the whole thing up front, you can have it for $2,555. So, we're excited to offer that to you, just to get a few people in and get it moving, get the energy of it moving. So that's a fast action bonus. Otherwise, if you pay in full after Sunday, it's $2,888. And if you need to pay it off, then you can contact me about it. If you want to experience one of those, you should be able. I'm about to. The reason I've been talking this long is just to build the energy so that you can feel the quantum source activation in your heart as soon as I begin it. But you will also be able to, if you want to experience 5 minutes of your own, just call me. Or if you've got any questions about it, please just call me as well. Just take a big breath in. And we're just going to acknowledge the sun and breathe in and draw it through our being and take it out through our bodies and take the last 5% of that energy down and connect it into earth. Breathe that energy from earth up, all of that life-giving energy, food, clothing, shelter, money, everything up through a root system that will be reactivated if you've done my fifth dimensional work. Breathe that earth energy out into your body and come up into your heart, your beautiful, beautiful big golden sun in the center of your chest. And breathe into your heart a few times and just acknowledge your physical heart, your heart chakra, and your high heart chakra. And then setting up your own Holy Trinity. So the sun, earth, and your own heart. That's setting up your own Holy Trinity or trilogy. Take a big breath in now and just take your hands up to your brain, and I want you to breathe out and pull your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, your superconscious mind down, and just place it in your heart center. We're going to do that 2 more times. Breathe in, raise your hands up and place them on top of your head, and then just imagine you're pulling your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your superconscious mind down and placing it in your heart. 1 more time, breathe in. Place your hands on your head and then breathe out and draw your conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind down and put it into your heart. That's to get you out of your head because it's so mind-blowing. We want to stay in our head, let me tell you. We just do, because it's just, you'll have everything coming up too. Like this is what you came here to do, to live from your soul. And you've probably been murdered and burnt at the stake and God knows what else in many other lives. So all that will be coming up. So that's why I want your mind out the way. And I want you to place your right hand on your heart center. You can place your left hand over the top of it if you want to. Or you can just leave your palm up and receive that way as well. I want you to take a few deep breaths into the heart. And now just imagine that it's your heart that's breathing in. You're breathing in, your heart's breathing in, and your heart's breathing out. I'm just going to take a moment to activate the eternal source power, the God source power and potential that exists within your heart. Let's see if we can open it up within you. So just breathe in and out of your heart for me, please. So this is a God source power activation of your 100 trillion cells, your 100 trillion telomeres, the God source power and potential that exists within you for everyone that is meant to join us for this new program, which will start early August. I'm guessing the first or second week in August. Just breathe. Such an exciting time to be alive on planet Earth. And if you are ready to step up into your God source power, then please consider joining us. As I said, it'll be thousands of dollars off. The reason it's thousands of dollars off is because it's exploratory. We're going to find out what comes when we all come together as powerful beings of light. Because it will be $10,000 plus. Probably $11,110 will be the price of the group program. And we expect a whole lot more people to be in that as well. So just breathe. If you are seriously ready to step into your power and purpose that you came here to Earth to do at this time, this is the program for you. Just breathe. And it's being heavily discounted because you've already spent money with me in the past. Breathe. I forgot to mention there's all sorts of other exciting stuff like the dragons. Dragon consciousness has opened up on Earth in the last 6 months. Galactic, oh my God, the galactic help, like from the Lyrans, the Syrians, the Arcturians, that's all. We can tap into all of that energy as well. But it's mostly about you tapping into the God source being of light you are that is even more powerful than all of that. But the dragon consciousness is going to help you activate the power and passion within you as well. We'll definitely be doing something with that. I just mentioned that because I saw a dragon spin through as we did this. I'm also seeing huge pyramids, golden pyramids of light connecting up to the galactic beings. All of this is possible for all of you. And just open yourself up. If you hear your brain going, I can't feel anything, that's your ego. Breathe in and bring your ego down into your heart. And just ask the question, what can I feel? Most people can feel it immediately. When I was working with my client in Melbourne yesterday, he yawned the first breath that I sent to him, so much noise here today. I'm so sorry. This is the quietest it's been. There's been machines going, and now there's a dog barking its head off next door. Really, it's just a sign of how powerful this work will be when outside influences try to stop things happening. And we can show you how to shut that dog up, or how to wrap yourself up in cocoons so outside forces can't affect you. Once you're connected to God and you have no separation, then none of that outside stuff is ever going to affect you again. Breathe in through your heart, accessing the God source, and breathe out that God source into every cell of your being. Okay, namaste, Asparo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so if you would like a personal one-on-one blast of that, please call me or answer this email with that. I will put Doreen's testimonial down the bottom here from her heart activation of this email, not down the bottom, and I'll put it on this video as well. And we're really looking forward to working with those of you who are ready to step into this God source power within you now. Just breathe. The separation is over. And we just need more and more powerful spiritual people to step into the light, to step into their own God consciousness, God source power consciousness, and help our world step into the light, into the oneness, into all the magic that we came here to do and to share. The time is now. Absolutely, the time is now. Alrighty, love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. And bye for now.